Hello, Julie here. Thank you for joining me for one of my longer videos where I plan all my spreads in my Skinny Mini Happy Planner for the month of July. As well as hopefully giving you some tips and inspiration for decorating the Skinny Mini, I'll also be talking about what's been going on with me for the last month. So if you like chatty videos, then keep watching. If you saw my pre-planning video, you'll already know that I choose stickers from different sticker shops to use throughout the month and try to vary the look of my spreads from week to week. So for July, we'll be using Planything's Summer Houses and Trees, which I've only used once before for my summer sticker hunt, which is still going. And if you want to join in, it's a lot of fun. It's been quite easy so far. A sticker book I'm planning to use up in its entirety this year is Happy Planners Essential Seasons. So I'm going to be diving on into the summer section of this book. This Clear Sea sticker book is a new one from DoodleDiarys. If you saw my recent haul video, it's really beautiful. The challenge will be for me to be able to use it in my Skinny Mini because the stickers are generally on the large side. But I'm always up for a challenge. Finally, I'll be using Sheet Planner from Live Love Posh for a spread for National Planner Day. Yes, it's National Planner Day on the 1st of August, so don't forget to use those planner theme stickers in your planners. This is the Skinny Mini I use. I've got the Squad Girls cover and the Fresh Bouquet undated pages inside. I like the fact that in this Skinny Mini I can use my old Squad Girl dividers because they don't have anything written on the back apart from the fact that I've put some birthdays on to remember each month. There are 5 weeks in July, but I only make 4 spreads in this video. So here is my spread for this week. And I used the Desert Oasis sticker book from MojoJojoPlans. This was a very quick spread. These stickers were not my favourite, so I was challenging myself to see if I could use them really quickly and still make a spread that I liked. It's not my favourite, but it's got plenty of room for function and I'm pretty pleased with it. I won't be flipping through my last month's spreads in this video, but the exciting news is that I will be having a flip through of this planner after the pen all the way from the beginning of the year to June. So watch out for that video coming soon. So I'm going to take out the pages I'll need for the 4 spreads that I'm going to make in this video. And we'll get started. I really enjoy this video because I don't pre-plan anything. I have no idea what I'm actually going to do before I sit down and start filming. So I haven't even thought about what set I might use. This is really cute. And I chose this book because it has small stickers which will look really good in the Skinny Mini. I'm not so keen on this set or this one. I like it, but I don't want it really for a summer spread. It doesn't scream summer to me. I love those trees. And I use this set in my sticker hunt, so I probably won't want to repeat that. Although we do have these houses with the pools that are also lots of fun, and these little huts. So decisions. I think I'm going to go with this set. It's totally adorable. I think because we have some stickers that are tall and some stickers that will fit under the days of the week, I will leave the days of the week where they are on this spread, although often I white them out. But I know lots of you will not want to go to that trouble. And I found 2 washi tapes from Planything that match with these stickers. And I'm going to do something I often do, which is alternate the colours on the lines. So I hope that you are well and having a good summer so far. It's been very hot here in my part of the UK. And of course, we moan all year about the weather. And when we finally get some sun and blue skies, what do? we moan that it's too hot. What can I say? We just love moaning about the weather. I don't do too well in the heat, I have to say. So I like it to be a nice day, but not a really hot day. We've just had a heat wave, or what's called a heat wave in this country, and we don't have aircon in our houses over here, so it's just a case of opening windows, closing curtains and putting on the fan, and not trying to do too much to exert yourself. But I'd rather it be too hot than too cold, I think. Although I haven't been very productive in June, and part of that reason has been the heat. I had some more fun and games with my car, which some of you might remember a year ago. I had lots of problems with my car and ended up having to get a new one, or a new second-hand one. And I was literally just thinking, oh, it's coming up to the anniversary of when I got my car. And although it took me a while to get used to driving it at first, and I had quite a lot of problems, I was thinking, I'm just getting back into feeling more confident driving and getting out and about. I was going to the shops, trying to track down a black blouse for the uniform to wear for my choir concert, and it was a stinking hot day, really hot. Can I fit the bar here? I think so. A little tiki bar. So all I'm going to do for this spread is something I do a lot, which is alternate the decorative stickers from side to side, and use about 8 stickers to make a really fun spread. Anyway, I'll tell you about my shopping trip first, because I told my mum before I went, remind me what's the one thing I'm not allowed to get. I'm not allowed to buy any dresses or skirts. The only top I was allowed to buy was a white top, because I'm running a bit low on white tops. But apart from that, and the black top that I was searching for to wear the concert, that was my only allowed purchase. As soon as I arrived, I thought, Julie, you've made a mistake coming out on such a hot day, because I do have a tendency to faint when I get hot. I've fainted in all sorts of places, as I've talked about in the past. But the free parking time limit was, I think it was an hour and a half. Just need to white some of that circle out. So I thought, well, I'll just go in the few clothes shops that there are, have a quick look, and then head home. Sort of. So see how easy that page was to do. I wonder if this one will fit. I think so. I might need to cut away some of that washi. So you can guess what happened. First of all, my search for black tops was fruitless, because it was summer and all the shops were full of pretty tops and summer dresses, all the things I love the most, but no black tops suitable for my concert. I don't think I need to white that out. that's okay. And what was the first thing that caught my eye? All the pretty summer dresses and tops, not white ones, all sorts of colours. So of course I was grabbing dresses and tops and heading for those changing rooms. So I do really enjoy clothes shopping. And of course it was the worst day to be getting in and out of clothes. And of course I ended up buying a green dress and a green top. Actually quite like wearing the colour green. That one is rather large, it's not going to leave any room for writing. I'm going to take it off the page. We'll use this smaller one, I think. I need to white out a little bit more. I've whited out a bit too much, as is always the case, but never mind. I'll add another one of these little lights down here, I think. And I also got a green dress. I have since returned the top, but I still have the dress. So another dress to add to my summer dress collection. I was thinking about putting a quote on because I always forget to add quotes to my Skinny Mini spread, but there isn't a lot of room for quotes if you want to leave space on every day to write. I don't always need to write on every day, particularly not on a Saturday, as I tend to be filming. But in Planything's black boxes and quotes there are some smaller stickers, so I wondered if I could find something to fit in somewhere, although it won't be a summer quote. This Think Happy Be Happy would fit perfectly if I move the sticker I've just put down, although I do have to say I don't like that quote. My dad suffers from depression, and if it was just as easy as thinking happy and being happy, then that would be great, but it's definitely not. I'll move this sticker to here. No, I don't like it because it's opposite the one on the other side. So how about in the box here? Doesn't take up too much room. And then I can use up this quote. Even if it's not my favourite. So that one's done. All I need to do is add the numbers and a July at the top. But that's a very symmetrical, matchy spread, where I've just alternated the decorative stickers, used two circles, one at the top and the one at the bottom, and then all I've done to make it different with the boxes is rotate one of them. But it still looks super cute. I do like Planything stickers in my Skinny Mini. They always seem to work really well with that smaller size. And you can get 10% off Planything with my code Julie10. Now onto my challenge to use up the Essential Seasons sticker book. Have you ever used up an entire sticker book? I'm going to be making 3 spreads with this sticker book in July. I need to find smaller stickers, so maybe something like these. It's going to be a challenge, but as I've shown, you don't need many stickers, and this is going to be much brighter than the last spread. Could use these. That's a thought. I'm not sure about these decorative boxes and where I'm going to use those up. I'm not someone who uses a lot of decorative boxes, and I don't know if these will fit into the Skinny Mini very well. Definitely not the big box stickers, so I've definitely taken on a big challenge here. I don't think that sunshine quote is going to fit. Ooh, maybe just. I think I'm going to bring it in. I've got to be really careful that I'm not putting it where I'm going to punch away. I am going to lose the bottom of the H, but that's okay. Time to bring on the sunshine. I had to cut a tiny bit of the E away, but you can still read it. I think what I will do is white out the days for this one, and then I can bring in those semicircle stickers. I was just going to say, I'm not having problems with this, am I? Because I've raved about this mono correction tape and how much I prefer it. And up till now, I've not had any problems, but I may be coming to the end. I don't want that notes either. So let's use these up, these little stickers. Is that straight? Well, it was pretty close. Sometimes I use semicircles for the numbers and the dates, but this is going to be a way of using up these quotes. So I'll add these and be right back when that's done. Now I'm not going to be able to bring boxes into this spread. I'm thinking of using mild liners, but I'm wondering if I can add a couple more decorative stickers just to use a few more stickers up. But if I want to have lines, I will need to put the decorative stickers on these parts here. So maybe because we've got the circle on that side, have the beach ball on this side, like that. Then I might be able to squeeze these glasses in, maybe just here. And perhaps cut one of these fish, the smaller one. That one can go here. This is definitely a challenge, but I'm going to use the other pair of sunglasses down here. And I think when I draw in the lines, what I'm hoping is it will transform the spread. It looks good, but I'm hoping it's going to look better with the lines added. The other idea I had was to bring in some really skinny washi across these lines here. So I'll show you at the end how this one turned out, but I think it's going to be okay. I love the colours. I'm using a new sticker book for this next spread. This Clear Sea sticker book from DoodleDiarys. I am an affiliate and you can get 12% off with my code Julie Save 12. It's got some really beautiful nautical vibe stickers in. The challenge for me is going to be to find stickers small enough to use in my skinny mini, but I think there are some dotted around on each page, so I'm hoping I can make this work. I'm going to white out the days again because I think they will get in the way of the larger stickers, and hopefully I can carry on giving you my update about what happened after my shopping trip, where I failed to get my black blouse but managed to pick up a pretty dress. As this is going to be a nautical vibe spread, I'm using this Planything washi. I think I'll take it right to the bottom. So after my trip to the shops, I was heading home feeling extremely hot. I know the temperature in the car was over 30, and I was about halfway home when I suddenly heard this beeping. It didn't really register at first because I had the radio on, but then I realised it wasn't the song on the radio, it was actually my car making a beeping noise, and I instantly was in not panic mode, but straight away thought back to what happened last year when my car was overheating all the time. And I thought, uh-oh, it's a hot day. Is my car overheating? And the frustrating thing was, after I realised there was something wrong with the car, I briefly saw something flash up on the dashboard, some sort of warning light, but before I could read what it actually said, it disappeared. So I didn't hesitate, I pulled over straight away, although not in a very convenient spot, I realised, and I tried to just calm myself down and think about perhaps trying the car again and seeing if I could see what this warning message was. This is a really cute little box. I don't usually have much to write on Saturdays, but it's super cute. Of course, it was busy because it was close to rush hour with people coming home from work. And I set off again, but only got a few more meters up the road before the beeping started again, and this time I was watching the dashboard carefully for the message to appear, but nothing appeared. I couldn't see that the car temperature had gone up over the limit or anything, but I saw a place that I thought I could pull in, so I decided to pull in again. And just for some context, I've reached the ripe old age of 56 and never actually broken down, or I think just a couple of times, and I've never paid for breakdown cover before, except in COVID, because obviously nobody was driving very much during the first year, so I think they offered it for, I think it was about £10 or £15, so I took advantage but never used it. I have someone my dad used for his car, and whenever anything goes wrong, he only lives around the corner and comes and helps me out and fixes it. But I decided after everything that happened with my car last year that I would buy breakdown cover this year for the first time ever. So I decided to call them up, even though I couldn't actually say what was wrong with my car. But of course I was thinking, oh, it is so hot, and I hadn't actually had anything to eat or drink for about 3 hours, I think. So I was thinking, how long am I going to have to wait in this heat? When I called, they said it could be an hour and a half. I did tell them that I have a history of fainting, so I was a little bit concerned that the heat might be a little bit too much. I'm going to bring this glitter washi in. I very rarely use glitter washi in my spread, but I do use these very skinny washi strips from Happy Planner in my spreads, and it just seems to go with the sea vibe. If I don't use it now, when am I going to use it? It's always a lot harder to cut the glitter washi. As you can see. Luckily I was near I think it was a kebab shop or some sort of takeaway shop, and I went in and asked for a nice cold drink, and I got a can of fizzy orange, which I took back to my car. And this is a sort of typical thing that always happens to me, or always seems to happen to me. I'm not sure if I want to add any more of this washi. Let's see. I'll do it. It may come off at the end. We'll see. Yes, so I went to pull on the ring pull, and I pulled and I pulled and I couldn't get the silly thing open, and then it just snapped off. I was like, I'm gasping for a drink. I'm stranded at the side of the road in a not the best town to be in, and now I can't even get my drink open. I think that's okay if I take it across the other side as well a little bit. Anyway, I went back to the shop and I handed the drink to the guy and said, oh, you might be able to get this open, being a typical ridiculously helpless female. And I was expecting him to try and open it, but he just went and got me another drink, which was ever so nice, free of charge. So I went back to my car and I cooled down with my drink, which did open because he opened it for me. Probably thought I was absolutely hopeless. I really like that. I think I need some here to match this line. It's ever so fiddly. I'm not quite sure if that's in the right place. And I didn't want to use my phone much because, of course, I was thinking, what if they are more than an hour and a half and my battery on my phone is low and no one turns up and I can't ring them. So even though I was thinking, oh, it'd be lovely to just now use this time to sit in my car and edit videos or photos, all the things that I needed to do, I couldn't actually risk doing any of that in case the battery on the phone ran out. That's really nice, that sparkly glitter washi. Shall I go the whole hog and put it at the top as well? Let's do it. Anyway, they came, I think it was about an hour, so my pleas had not fallen on deaf ears. My parents were at home praying, I expect, as well. I did ask them to when I rang them and let them know that I wouldn't be home. I was stranded. I think that's a bit crooked. And the other thing I was worried about was I thought I was parked on a place that I was allowed to park, but actually when I checked there was a yellow line, although it was very faint. So I thought it might just be my luck if a traffic warden comes along and I get my first ever ticket, even though I can't help being stuck here. I explained to the man what happened. He looked under the bonnet and he didn't find any problems there, no overheating, so that was good. I explained that I'd heard the noise twice, but I couldn't see what the warning message was. And he plugged in his little diagnostic device, or whatever it is they use, and then uttered the immortal words, "I can't find anything wrong." I don't think I did that right. Let's try again. Which, of course, was a relief that he couldn't find anything wrong, but also made me think, well, why was it beeping then? I think he was concerned about getting a ticket as well. I don't know what the rules are about breakdown vehicles, but he was also on the yellow lines where you're not allowed to park. So he suggested that I drive on with him following, and then when I hear the beeping to pull in again so he can have another look. This is very hard to cut. I keep saying that, but it is. Oh, never work with glitter. There we go. After all that, I'm not sure about that bit there, so it may come off. Only this box empty. I don't know if there's something small I can add. I think I picked the smallest stickers. Got that bottle. Little heart. Not sure what that's got to do with the sea. Some bubbles. Butterfly, but I don't think that goes with the nautical vibes. These are all rather large. And these are huge. And paper stickers. So I don't think I want to use these. What about on those pages at the end? Could just cut out one of those shells. Or maybe something from this page. Maybe if I use this funny heart thing. I don't want it right above that. I think maybe there, but I'd have to cut that glitter away, and is it worth the effort? I don't know. If I put it here, it's going to get punched away. Let's try and do that. I'm not sure about that, to be honest, but I still have to add the days and the numbers, so it won't look completely empty. Happy with it though, because it's really pretty. The final spread is for National Planner Day, because the 1st of August is in this week, and I'm using Live Love Posh's sheet planner, and this was the set I think I would like to use, probably the prettiest. It's got lots of planners in it and these pretty flowers, and I don't think I've bought many flowers in this month. The dates are going to have to go again. I try to do at least one of the 4 spreads without whiting out the dates. When you have pieces like these, I always think you have a couple of options. You could put them like that, or you could put them in the opposite corners, or vary where they appear, which I think I might go for that. I found some pink boxes in MojoJojoPlans Summer Boxes 2.0. I'm not sure what other colour to bring in. I did think about black boxes, but that felt a little bit harsh against the pink. Trying to get this straight. Back to my story, which I can promise is nearing a conclusion. So I did have the presence of mind to say to the guy, what if when I drive off the noise doesn't sound again? What will happen then? He said, oh, well, in that case I will drive off and leave you, because obviously everything is all right. He said he knew which way I was heading home, and he said, well, I'll be heading in the opposite direction. I bet you can guess what happened. I'm sure you can. It seems to be the story of my life. I set off all ready to hear the beeping and look to see what the message was and be ready to pull over. And of course, there was no beeping, no sound, no nothing. It was quite a long road. I drove all the way to the top of the road and thought, oh dear. Well, sort of oh dear. I was quite relieved that it wasn't making a noise, but I was a little bit like, well, is there something wrong with the car? Is there not something wrong with the car? Why did it beep? What was the message? And also because I've never actually had a breakdown before and called anyone out, I wasn't sure what happened if they found nothing wrong and whether that meant you'd call them out for nothing and there might be some sort of charge. I've covered up Saturday there because I rarely write in it, and if I do need to, I can always write in that little section there, and this will be Sunday. When I got to the top of the road, I was expecting him to turn the other way because that's what he had said he would do if I didn't pull over, but he didn't actually do that. He kept following me. And then I felt a bit bad because I was like, oh, everything's all right. Does he realise everything's all right? So I was trying to indicate or give a thumbs up that I was okay now and the car seemed to be working just fine. But he actually followed me all the way home, which I thought was really nice actually, because it was just reassuring to know that I was going to make it home. It was only about 15 minutes away. And then he asked me to sign something, so I don't know whether he realised he hadn't got me to sign anything and that's why he followed me home. But he said that if it happened again, that I could still give them a call. So overall, my first experience of calling for a breakdown vehicle was very positive, although I was, of course, extremely stressed. I'll add these little pencils down the bottom here. And then apart from the washi, which I think this spread definitely needs, this will be done. Now I realise I've already come across as a completely hopeless female who doesn't know anything about cars in this video, but you might be thinking, well, what did cause the beeping? Trying to decide between this washi from Live Love Posh and whether that's a little bit too black, or we have the grid washi, which is lighter, which is often my safe option. Maybe I will just play it safe. So I did what I probably should have done in the first place when I was broken down at the side of the road, or at least thought I was broken down at the side of the road, and gone online and searched for what could be the cause of a beeping noise in my make of car. And when I did that, the very first forum that I came to, someone had asked that question and the reply was, "You've left your handbrake on, man." And I was like, what? Now I know that if you leave your handbrake on, it makes a beeping noise, but that honestly did not even occur to me at all. And I was trying to think, how on earth would I be driving and have my handbrake on? But thinking back, I had come to a junction and had to stop or slow down, and I was thinking, well, maybe did I not lift my handbrake off properly when I set off? And then I was like, but even if that happened once, what about the fact that you parked and then set off again and the same thing happened? It seemed a terrible coincidence that I wouldn't have lifted my handbrake up properly on 2 occasions. But I haven't come across any other solution or answer as to why this might have happened to me. So quite embarrassing really if that's what happened, but I've driven the car lots since and no beeping, so I've calmed down a bit about driving again, and now I know that if something does happen to my car I can call for the breakdown and everything will be all right. So I don't know why I told you that story, because as I say, it makes me appear completely hopeless, but I think I've just been so anxious about driving since having so many problems with my car last year. Up to then, I've been fine. But my default was, as soon as the car started beeping, I was like, it's going to overheat, the needle's going to rise, I'm going to be stranded. I don't know what I think is actually going to happen to me. I say this to my parents. Do I want any more washi, or is that too much? I think that's probably enough. It still looks a bit plain. I suffer from a highly overactive imagination. Obviously watched far too much telly growing up. And I always think, oh, the car's going to just like burst into flames. Whereas in reality, I'm sure that sort of thing rarely happens. Anyway, although I did panic a little bit, I was quite pleased that I didn't completely have a meltdown. I kept saying to myself, I saw this thing on the internet about saying, instead of why is this happening to me, what am I meant to be learning from this, or something like that. So I was like, well, this is going to be my first experience of having a breakdown and seeing how it all pans out, and realizing that it's not the end of the world, and most people are used to doing this sort of thing when their car breaks down all the time. Not sure about this second pink stripe. I just feel like it's lacking something though. I know it needs a quote, doesn't it? Obviously. I've got room for one down there. How about, in the chaos of life, a planner is my compass. And if I can find a small one for this side, hashtag planner life. So all in all, it was probably a valuable lesson for me. I was going to tell you so many more things that happened in June, but I'll have to save those for another video. I want to show you the finished spreads with the dates added now, and you can tell me your favourite. Time for the final reveal now, and at this point I'm not sure which one is going to be my favourite. Not this one, but I actually don't mind this one. But from the ones I made today, we have this one from Planything. All I did to this one was add these little flags from another Planything sticker book, and numbers from MojoJojoPlans Rainbow Dated, and the month from Pastel Dated from MojoJojoPlans. It's actually in yellow, but you can hardly see the yellow stickers in that book, so I've gone over it with a black. This is a really cute spread, and I think that quote at the bottom really adds something to the page. So if you're after a simple idea for decorating your skinny mini, remember that: alternating lines with the washi and alternating sides with the stickers. Next we have this one, which looks a little bit different now that I've added the zebra mild liners. Not sure how I feel about it, but I wanted a colourful spread. And I was only able to use up a few stickers from the Essential Seasons sticker book, although I did get rid of all those semicircles. So not bad, I suppose. I'm always conflicted when it comes to drawing lines with the zebra mild liners as to whether to do it freehand or use a ruler. I did actually use a ruler for this one, but even so, it still didn't always turn out that even. A tip for me, if you are redating your planner, is that you don't have to use stickers. All I did was get a Muji 0.38 and write in the dates on this one, and it looks fine. I have a feeling this will look rather empty because I never write that much on each day, but I suppose I could always add in some stickers afterwards, although mainly this is a functional planner for me. These were the beautiful stickers from DoodleDiarys, and I do think that the glitter washi really brings this spread to life. I love everything about it, from these cute little boxes with the bows to the glitter washi and these lovely stickers. Makes me want to be by the seaside. Finally, this spread for National Planner Day on August the 1st, and these beautiful stickers from July Live Love Posh. And for this spread and the one before, I used washi to add the dates. I love my various days of the week washi tapes and numbers tapes. They can be a little bit fiddly, especially when they're small like these, but I like the fact they don't take up too much room. So I really love all my spreads this month, but can you guess my favourite? I think you probably can. It's going to be this one from DoodleDiarys. Remember, I put all the links to the shops I use in my video description and my affiliate codes, including my one from DoodleDiarys. And if you want to see the other sticker books I got from DoodleDiarys in my recent haul, then I'll link the video on screen here. There are some really gorgeous summer stickers. Let me know in the comments which spread was your favourite, and I look forward to seeing you again for another plan with me really soon. Until then, take care and happy planning.